Hey guys, how are we all? Welcome to My Way Tarot. This is going to be a general love reading for the sign of Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising and Venus sign. So please check out the other available videos on the channel so you get a fuller, more rounded picture as what potentially could be happening for your love life. Now this will be for November. So this will be a weekly reading for the first week of November. Okay guys? If the reading resonates, then that's awesome. If it doesn't resonate, then it's simply not your message. But there could be parts of the reading that does resonate. So I could be reading for yourself or for your love interest, the one that's on your mind, etc. So please use your own discernment and flip the roles to however this best fits with your situation. But please do not make the story fit. Okay, guys? So let's get into the reading, shall we? I hope that you have enjoyed Halloween and that you had a great time. I can't believe that we're in November already. The year has just flown by. Absolutely crazy. Okay, so what have we got for Aries, please? Sun, Moon, Rising and Venus for love. Let's have a look. Aries, please. Aries for love. Sun, Moon, Rising and Venus. Oh, okay. Eight of Pentacles in reverse. King of Cups. Ooh. Queen of Swords upright. Let's talk about these three first, shall we? So you could be dealing with an earth sign, a water sign or an air sign, or have it very strongly in your chart, or your person does. We have Ace of Cups here at the bottom of the deck so far with the Ten of Wands. Fire energy, which is you guys, and then Gemini energy with the Lovers in reverse. Okay, so what I'm getting here straight away is that either you or your love interest are trying to become more clear-headed in relation to their future when it comes to love. There may have been a lot of confusion previously, maybe a few mind games, emotional manipulation about whether somebody wanted to work on a connection as of sorts, whether someone could trust the other person in relation to building on a particular connection, and either you or your love interest have put their back towards a particular situation. Now if this is pertaining to a third party, like if this is your love interest and they've had a third party, they may have had to set firm boundaries with this other person. They've turned their back on them. They're not interested. They're not even looking at that way behind them with what's going on in the past. They're not dwelling on that anymore. And they're focusing very much predominantly on their future. And what their future is that they want a brand new love in their life, something that is going to give them the brand new start that they've been hoping for, wishing for, praying for, and to allow themselves to get into that particular like emotional space, to be open to giving and receiving of love, especially if they've not been in a position to have been open enough to giving or receiving love in a previous situation or a previous relationship, especially if it's been like a karmic partner, karmic cycle of sorts. Now when it comes to karmic relationships, it's not necessarily down to a particular person that they may be dealing with. It could be a family situation, so like other family members, it could be friends, it could be a particular job or a career or a work place, something along those lines, or even finances. It could be different cultures, religions, particular beliefs, distances like long distance or countries, that type of thing. So however this best resonates, what I'm getting here is that either you or your love interest, or potentially both of you, are ready to dive in deep in relation to finding the one. True love, unconditional love, and potentially either you or your person or both of you have gone through an incredibly long cycle in their life that has been very stressful here with the Ten of Wands upright, especially when it has come to love and relationships. Potentially either you or your love interest, or even both of you, have most likely being taken advantage of by people for your particular kindnesses, and maybe seeing your kindness as a weakness, And so therefore other people may have not necessarily treated you so kindly because they thought that they could get away with potentially manipulating you or your person. And there may have been a very much an imbalance to do with a love relationship of sorts, which either you or your person or both of you at one point or another may have been incredibly confused about whether to stay in a particular relationship or whether to leave it. Could be dealing with a Gemini, doesn't necessarily have to be, or have it strongly in your chart or your person's chart. Yeah, look at this. A lot of very unequal give and take, maybe having to make some very challenging choices in relation to love. And I feel like someone is fed up of rehashing the old issues in their life, and they're ready to eventually move on and find a new sense of emotional fulfillment in their life, but they may have gone through a very arduous journey, especially when it comes to trusting other people, because 9 times out of 10, these other people have most likely used and abused either your person's trust or either your trust. And so therefore someone's having to have a very objective, clear view and set firm boundaries with particular people in order to get to where they want to now and nourish their thoughts a lot better. Either that, or potentially someone's feeling very emotionally all over the place as of right now. Their emotions are very unbalanced, potentially focusing very heavily on their finances and their career. Maybe they've been in lack when it comes to their finances. I'm getting very much a lot of work and no play. Look at this, we have the Wheel of Fortune coming out reversed. Bottom of the deck, we have the Six of Pentacles. So yes, there's been a very long cycle where somebody just felt like their love life was out of control, particular situations didn't necessarily work out for them, either feeling relatively heartbroken. There may have been, I'm getting the sense of infidelity here and a lot of selfish behaviour, especially with the Six of Pentacles in reverse. Somebody, either you or your person or both of you, depending on how this best resonates, had been in a very long cycle or stuck in a rut to do with a particular cycle of giving and giving and giving and giving and not necessarily receiving what they were putting out there back. And this could have been an incredibly tough lesson for either you or your person to get a grip on hold of, especially when it comes to just normal relationships and connections and partnerships, as well as love, and feeling relatively restricted in particular relationships as of sorts. And someone's wanting to go after a brand new love and they're wanting to get out of a situation. I feel like the Wheel of Fortune is going to turn around for you or your person, or for both of you very soon, depending on how this best resonates. You could be dealing with an Aquarius, a Leo, a Taurus or a Scorpio energy, or have that heavily in your chart. What else can we get here for Aries, please? Now I'm getting there could have been a lot of emotional codependency if there had been a karmic partner, maybe even a long-term traditional relationship here of sorts with Taurus energy, with the Hierophant. What else here for Aries, please, for love? Yeah, look at this, 9 of Wands. Someone is really finishing off a very difficult cycle. This is like the wounded warrior, so either you or your person have been incredibly wounded. Yes, either dealing with hot and cold behaviour from either each other or from a third party situation, unrequited love. I'm getting also just a lot of like player-like energy, somebody not very sure with what it is that they want, or they are sure about what they want but their intentions aren't necessarily so pure. So someone's had a lot of trouble in relation to connections, relationships. Potentially somebody's feeling relatively insecure of themselves right now because they've been really badly hurt from a situation. I feel like it's just coming to the end of it. Yeah, look at that. Someone's going through a breakup of sorts here with the Two of Cups in reverse. I feel like someone may have felt like they were taken for granted by another person, and a relationship just ended up drifting apart, so therefore it's not necessarily working out anymore. And I feel like someone wants to communicate some sort of news that they are either closing out a very difficult cycle. You see here how we have the ace with this page of wands, and then we have the 9 and we add that up, and that's the 10 of wands. And we saw the 10 of wands of what we don't see with either you or your person closing out something relatively difficult. So I feel like either you or your person could have children involved with either a karmic partner or third party or what have you, and somebody wants to be able to come forward and give some sort of news that they're closing off a very difficult cycle in their life that they've worked incredibly hard in, but they haven't received very much out of. And I feel like someone wants to give either very good news to you, or you want to give news to someone that they're finishing this off and that they're putting their back to this situation because it was just too difficult. Look at that. They want to give off the news that they've had a long-term investment of sorts that hasn't necessarily worked out, and they don't want to invest in it anymore. They may have lost out a lot financially, but they're realizing that this other situation was not necessarily healthy, and potentially there could have been disloyalty and infidelity here, and somebody felt very much out of their depth to do with another connection, and so therefore somebody's trying to regain balance in their life in order to move on forward. I'll take one more, please. Oh well, yes, I'll take those. Yeah, look at that, 10 of Swords, Queen of Pentacles in reverse, and the Hierophant, and I felt like that was there as well. There we go, with the 3 of Pentacles in reverse, World in reverse. Okay, so as we can clearly see here, either you or your person have been potentially with a karmic partner, something that was long term that didn't necessarily work out, and potentially they may have started off the situation with each other because they thought that there could be potential financial growth in a situation, but it didn't turn out that way. And they may had a lot of very practical reasons to have this particular long-term connection, but then there was some sort of betrayal or ending. And we got another 10 here. So we saw 10 of Wands, the adding up of the 10 of Wands again on the table. We had the Wheel of Fortune, which is another 10 in reverse, and then the 10 of Swords. So with the closing of a cycle, that there had been someone had been taken for granted, and they're not wishing to they're not wishing to stay in something that they realise they're not stepping into their own truth, and they're quitting on a situation because it doesn't necessarily serve them anymore. Okay, so let's have a look and see what we've got here with the Romance Angels by Doreen Virtue. Someone has definitely been betrayed by somebody else, or a relationship just kind of completely fell flat and it wasn't necessarily working out anymore, and someone felt incredibly lonely to do with a long-term relationship or situationship of sorts, where there wasn't very much growth in a particular connection, and someone's needing to change their life. They're wanting to change, and potentially they may be setting very firm boundaries with someone and just saying, look, at the end of the day, you know, we've got to where we've got to, and what was once working for us before is not working for us anymore, and it's kind of in the best interest for both of us, really, to just kind of let bygones be bygones. And, you know, because we only have one life here, so it's kind of like, do you kind of want to carry on living in a particular lie, or do you actually just genuinely want to sit and be in your truth? And I feel like either you or your love interest are really connecting with themselves and trying to understand, you know, what is going to give me the emotional stability in my life, and how can I move myself forward? And I feel like if they've been in something long term, they're going to gain their independence and their strength, and they're not going to repress any more of these emotional like upsets that they've had. They're going to vocalize what's been troubling them and allow themselves to be able to move on forward, because they are deserving of that. They are deserving of that. So let's look at the Romance Angels and see what's happening But either you or your person have felt very heartbroken from this whole situation, and if they've been dealing with third party, or your person, or you have been dealing with a third party, somebody trying to fix it and, you know, rekindle a particular connection, there's only going to be negative consequences from the whole thing. It's not going to necessarily fix in the way that it needs to, and someone needs to let go of particular control issues, especially if someone's trying to hold on to your person, because it's meant to end. It's not meant to be around anymore. It's something that needs to be finished. Let's see what's happening for Aries, please. For the romance angels, what can you tell us, please, for November? First week of November. Aries, please. Thank you. Wow. Forgiving and learning, and we have it coming out reverse. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. So I feel like your person, either you or your person, are having a really difficult time with forgiving maybe another person that they've been dealing with, or even forgiving of themselves, especially if they feel like some sort of guilt or upset or particular regret or something that has made them feel really quite sad. Yeah, look at this, worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life. So yes, the wheel of fortune will turn round, and there will be a point where there's going to be a major breakthrough. So it's just having, you know, faith that things will eventually turn round. But someone feels very down in the dumps as of right now, like really hard done by, as they're closing out this particular cycle in their life. But they're getting told that it is going to be worth waiting for, that they will be able to move on forward with the right person at the right time. Look at this, calling in your soulmate. Your prayers, affirmations and visualizations help bring you together. So I'm really getting the sense that how your person feels about you is they see you as their one. They see you as the person that is worth waiting for, and that you've been through all the trials and tribulations separately but together in order to get to this point where this old cycle is coming to a close, and it's like the ending of an era. And I'm getting that very strongly for the rest of Scorpio season, that there's going to be a major transition and rebirth for your particular connection. I'm going to take one more, please, for Aries. Thank you. Let your friends help you. As you ask for and accept support from others, okay? So your person is getting help from other people and support and guidance, potentially people who may be older than them, or if not older, they may be more experienced in a particular way, to try and find some sort of sound advice so that they can move themselves forward to where they need to be or where they want to be, I'm getting predominantly. Bottom of the deck, we have codependency. Addictions are affecting your romantic life. So yes, and what I'm getting is that either you or your person, if they're dealing with a third party, they're closing out a particular codependent cycle with this person, or maybe they've got particular addictions and things themselves that they're working on, so that eventually they are able to come round towards you, because there's chemistry between the two of you that can't necessarily be denied or ignored anymore. And so therefore they're having this recognition that they're going to change these particular things, okay? Because what I'm seeing here is that there is a very strong possibility with the two of you at some point to eventually have something very traditional with each other. But potentially it could be holding this person back if they have been in another situation where they had that traditional type of commitment with a long-term home, maybe even family, maybe invested in some sort of monies to do with a business or a family business or something along those lines. It's kind of, they're hesitant as of right now because they've been through a lot, because they're trying to discern, you know, who's potentially going to be right for them or who isn't going to be right for them. And I feel like this person has a lot of feelings for you, and they do very much care about you, and they know that the connection between the two of you is incredibly strong, and that there is love there that they most likely haven't necessarily shown to you or you've shown to them, or maybe even potentially a lack of communication as to, you know, whether whether there is something more to your connection and for it to grow. Like, you may have felt very much in limbo land, whilst this other person is trying to figure out what they need to figure out. And it's just about being patient and accepting, you know, that things will eventually all work out when it's the best timing for you both. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to pull, bear with us, I'm actually just going to pull, sorry for that really bright light, I will close the window. Soulmates in Separation, unspoken love messages. Okay, so let's see what they would like to say to you, or what you would like to say to them. Okay, so if you're dealing with an air sign, what do they want to say to you? So Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, what would they like to say to you? Soulmates in Separations. Dealing with an air sign, what would they like to say to you? Okay. Hurting you hurt me even more. I miss you more now that we are apart. I still feel your presence, your energy around me. I carry guilt for the way I mistreated you. Okay. I know I failed you and let you down big time. That's what an air sign would like to say to you. What would an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, what would they like to say to you? What would they like to say to you? Each day I think about how it would be like if we were together. One day I will be ready to surrender. I'll take one more please for an earth sign. Thank you. It's this one that wanted to come through. I feel ashamed for how I treated you. You did not deserve that. I made so many bad mistakes. I hope we can have a do-over. Okay. If you're dealing with a fire sign, let's see what they would like to say to you. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, what would they like to say to you? There's two here. Sorry I did not see your value and worth when we were together. You will always have a special place in my heart nobody else can fill. I must admit that I'm longing for your touch and warm embrace. And lastly, if you're dealing with a water sign, what would they like to say to you? Or would you like to say to them? Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, please. Okay. You are always in my dreams. You are perfect in my eyes, don't ever change. And then we have bottom of the deck for the collective. We have you deserve much more than what I could give at the time. I wish I could have loved you the way you deserve to be loved. Okay. So anyway, guys, that is the end of the reading. I hope that you have enjoyed and I hope that it resonated. If you did enjoy, please like, share and subscribe. Leave us a comment. I greatly appreciate it. If you do subscribe, hit the notification bell so you guys get an alert as to when I post another video for you all. So I hope that you have a really good week and we'll hopefully speak to you again soon. Take care and bye for now.